Hey, I'm like halfway through a walk I'm on right now, and I figured it's a good time to just have like a talk about anything. So I don't really know how to start this off. It's just kind of strange, just starting up a conversation out of nowhere. But I just wanted to do this because it made me feel better. Let me see. Let's say. It gives me better practice just talking. I don't really talk much. And when I do, I don't really talk about a lot of things. Life is an interesting thing. Yeah, take off my... Take off my balaclava. Sorry. Probably make it easier for me to be understood. So there's not really anything that's going to be going on right now. I'm just going to be talking probably until I get home, which probably is like half an hour probably. It's a long time to be just talking. I doubt anyone's actually going to stay for that long. It's a long time to just listen to someone talk. I can't even do that for 5 minutes when I'm watching something. I would show pics of all of this scenery, but I can't take photos when I'm recording for whatever reason, and as well as I don't really want to dox myself just yet. As I was saying earlier, life. Life is an interesting concept to grasp. I don't know if anyone really can grasp it. I don't think I grasp it. Then again, I've never really considered myself to properly be alive. I've always just existed. Because which is like amusing. I'm not exactly emo or anything. But I do understand that is a sentiment that a surprising amount of people do have. But I do think that you should be existing at least to your fullest, the fullest that you can be, never stop trying. Never understood why people don't try to be better. It's always, that's another thing I can't wrap my mind around. The idea that someone could just be okay with being less than what they could be. Because everybody has a potential. Everybody has a kinetic energy that is stored up inside of them. Mostly metaphorically, but also technically, yeah. But you can always go further. You can always go better. You can always get worse. But I don't think you should get worse. Yeah, that's not really a fun idea. But I do know that staying in one place is not. And honestly, I'd probably rather go backwards than stay in the same spot. But I do continue on. I go forward. Always getting better. Not quite trying to be perfect, but aiming toward that direction. I think a lot of people should try to aim for that direction. Because it's not really something that you can be. You cannot be entirely perfect. There will always be some flaws. You can always try to be better. Certain flaws are okay, but there are also flaws that are unbecoming of someone. And you do not want that, and you want those flaws to be fixed. Like the ignorance of some people. I won't name names, but we all know who. We all have someone that we can think of. We all have someone that we know others can think of. And those people will not change. But everyone can change. It is not just a belief, it is a fact that change is possible. It's just whether or not it does happen. And I think that's how you're weighed, if there is a afterlife to be that weighs and judges you. I think morality is not just what you do, it's also what you could have done, and it's something that is weighed against you if you do not go through in your best form. And that seems like a very negative outlook, I guess, because there's no guaranteed way to know if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. But I don't think it's exactly like that either. I think that might be that it is counted, but if you also have done something better than what you could have done, it would be able to gain you later on. Or if you did something that wasn't as best as you could have, but it led to things that were better in the end, I think that also would be able to be counted with you in your best. Intent does matter, but also action. It's a lot of philosophical quandary that people discuss: is action or intent better than the other? But I don't think that either of them are. And I kind of go with every philosophy that I can, and emphasis on can. And there's some philosophies that are kind of that I don't really align with, but I will pick things from them even then. I've never really stuck to one thing. I think that describes me perfectly. I don't stick to one thing. I cannot stick to one thing. I'm ever changing, ever fluid. I don't even have one identity. I go through my thoughts and I talk to myself. It's something that I don't totally grasp either, because I've never myself felt like one person. I couldn't be one person. One person is one thing, one thought, monotone. It feels wrong. It changes. It's like an emotion to me, which is ironic because outside of interaction with people, I don't have any emotions. I only feel emotion when I'm talking to people. It's only in the emotion that is being displayed to me. It is a mirror. Always masking, I guess. Except I somehow believe the mask myself. With every change, because I shift throughout. Sometimes I go back, sometimes I go forward, sometimes I go. But most of the time it's never forced, it's just like emotion. And then I think that describes the gender spectrum quite well. lot of people probably are like, yeah, duh, that's what we've been trying to say this whole time. But it's kind of hard to understand. It's like right now I'm pantomiming. You guys don't see it, but like outside I am pantomiming with my hands. I am moving because I need my hands to speak. Because without it, it's hard to describe things. It's hard to whatever. That right there's autism. Love that autism. Autism isn't that bad either. That's also a spectrum of things. I think most things are spectrums. There are ever few black and white things. Everything's mostly gray. It's always seen gray. But figuratively, but then again, I don't fucking see your shit. And mentality is a strange one. The mentality that I have is strange. I might be smart. I know I'm smart. I'm not too sure. Everything feels like I could just talk about it. I don't think I am smart. I think that I at least have it prepared. Because some things I know are just should be common sense. Like, don't be an ass. Although I am an ass. I'm an asshole, yeah. Getting better though. I think that's the important thing. And it loops back around to that conversation of getting better. I used to be even bigger ass. Like violent. I permanent marks on my hands from times where I beat in the face of someone. I'm getting better though. That's not easy. I do sometimes get that angry though. It takes a rare thing to actually ease me off. But things that do really can get under my skin. I didn't control it as much because I think I should. Part of me still thinks I shouldn't have. But I do, but like, I change. Not because I don't feel those things anymore, but because I realize that there are better ways to get back, better ways to use that. I'm being quite open right now. I was gonna say it's new, but I'm always open nowadays. That's something that's also new. I've pretty much open myself to anyone. I don't really hide any things anymore. I do hide a few things. I do have secrets. But those secrets are mostly not mine. There's things that I know other people's confided. Because, to be honest, what are people gonna do? Like, seriously. That is my sentiment nowadays. The fuck you gonna do? So what? I'm fucking... I'm queer, I'm proud of it. I'm pretty open about it, like, that's just an example, though. Because, like, no matter what anyone says or does, they cannot stop you from being you. From being the person who you are. Because you'll never stop actually being that person until you yourself start believing others can stop you. And you shouldn't believe that. No one should be able to control you. I am a narcissist, and that gets a lot of bad stigma. It gets a lot of I guess stigma. Stigma is the best word for it, I guess. There's a lot of stigma around it, a lot of downward looks. Narcissism isn't about being someone who is just obsessed with himself. It is someone who doesn't allow others to influence them more than they influence themselves. It is someone who doesn't listen to others as well as it is someone who looks out for themselves more so than they might look out for another. Which sounds bad, but not all narcissists are completely like that. They're not like all of themselves, or they're not always their most important person. There are a few people who I would consider more important than myself, but only a few. And those few I would move mountains for those people. Not even hesitation on those. That there would be just a request, and I would do it. And that is how much I respect those people, how much I feel like those people are more than I am. And those people are people I know personally, people who I trust to not abuse it, people who I know are lights. Lights that are in my ever-long tunnel of darkness. But I do see an opening in that tunnel. It is coming up soon. I might have passed it already even. It's kind of hard to tell. narcissism isn't essentially a bad thing. I do want to mention that there's not really any research or any thing I've really looked up to ensure that I'm going to be correct about this. But like, I'm gonna blame the government. No, that's a quick political turn, isn't it? No. But like, there's it's not really hard to connect those two dots. The negative propaganda that is spread about a quote-unquote mental illness. There's probably a better word for it. That is about listening to yourselves. That perfectly encapsulates an entire group of people who do not listen to, who have hard times listening to authoritative figures. It's not really hard to deduce how things were spread. They do it now even. Make mental illness out of some things that are just not mental illnesses. Because the opposite of a narcissist is someone who just follows everyone. Sheep, most people would call them. And that's not even considered a mental problem. And people do call it a problem, but it's not really something that there's not anything that there are drugs or to be medicated for it. It is just those people are fucking cheap and fuck them, I guess. Which is strange to think about, because if someone is too because someone like a narcissist, I would say, just an example, like let's say a narcissist is too narcissistic, they are too into themselves or whatever, they have to chill down, they have to calm down, they're too aggressive, they would be prescribed something, they would be diagnosed, so they would be put into a therapy, they would be probably prescribed some medicines that help lessen both, because those are two different things. But someone who just listens to someone who just is completely and without any form of original thought is just considered stupid. They might just be like, they might at best get some compensation related to work, or if they are still in school, they would be put into like a special education. But they wouldn't really be treated in the same way that their exact opposites would be. And not, we're not going to call them exact opposites, because there might be a better opposite to each. But they are definitely on different sides of the spectrum. On parallel sides of the spectrum, I would say. they can my dad's already thirsty, but I can't drink. One's, both are viewed as bad, but one's decidedly just more pushed up or pushed against. I'm not trying to be like, oh, woo, no, uh, I'm not trying to be, oh no, woe is me. I'm not, because narcissism can definitely be bad, but it also doesn't have to be. One thing that they are learning is autism helps regulate other of those things, like narcissism and social, antisocial personality disorders and stuff. Like personality disorders, I don't know exactly what. I haven't looked too much into it. But apparently it's supposed to help regulate your fat kind of stuff. And that's something that's interesting. Maybe we should be eating more Tylenol when we're pregnant. Well, can't even. That idea is kind of stupid though. The Tylenol thing. I don't know how that even. We need someone better. As I come up to my house now, because I'm almost home, we've been talking for, it's kind of hard to tell with my 32 minutes, almost 33. I do want to I do want to share a poem I have. Let's pick a random one. No. The different highlights mean different things. I think that one's a decent one. I am the one who always is, a certain creature in your viz. I am the one who always were, with blade-like teeth, scales of burr. I am the one who always will. My law of self stands firmly still. I am the snake, unending. Ouroboros, time impending. It's a quick little poem I made for, I believe RP, a roleplay that I'm doing. It's interesting. I'm pretty sure it's obvious, like that's just like a simple poem. I'm pretty sure it's obvious what that is about. It's just, if you know what it is the problem. I'm not going to dive into that. But it's been half an hour and I'm back home now. Probably gonna rest, So goodbye, everyone. If you had somehow made it through all of this, then I congratulate you, you majestic being. I wouldn't have sat through all of this. I forgot to release the video I made a few days ago. Oops. I'll have to release that. I made a video the other day. I forgot to release it yesterday. I'll have to release that too eventually. Maybe. I'll probably cut it in half. But for now, goodbye. I love you all. Have a good night. Or day. Whatever it is. Bye bye.